Hello everyone, welcome back to another beginner series tutorial. In this tutorial, we are gonna model this racing car. At first sight, it may look complicated, but when we check the wireframes, it is really simple. With the basic tools, we are gonna get this level. It's gonna be really easy. At the end of the tutorial, you are gonna see that. If you want more hard surface content, you can check my Gumroad and Patreon. So without further ado, let's start. Right away, I will switch to model mode. And I will start import my image planes. By pressing middle mouse, we can go to top view. Then I will press Shift and V, so I can select image plane I want to import. Go to back, click here, and we are in the top view. So I will select top image plane. Let's give some transparency, like 75%. Then I will go to the right view. Again, middle mouse, Shift and V, back, and this time I'm gonna select side image plane because we are in the right view. Same again, transparency. Now we are good to go. I will start with a cube, create a cube, and first thing first, let's go to the right view and get a basic size of the cube based on the image plane, like so. Okay, this is looking nice. Now we need to check the cube in the top view. Go to top view. Now we will face a problem. The image plane is not looking right. So I will press Shift and V one more time. This time I need to rotate it like 270 degrees. Now the top image plane looks correct. After that point, I will enable lines because I want to see how many polygons and edges I have. It looks like this cube doesn't have many segments to be manipulated to get the car shape. So before making the cube editable, I need to add segments. First thing, I believe we will need something on the Z. I will increase that number to, let's say, 9. And 1 to do X because I can delete the left side and use symmetry. At that point, we are good to make the cube editable. Press C or you can click here. As I said, I'm gonna delete the left side. To do that, I will switch to edge mode and double click on the center edges. Now, all I need to do, go to selection, field selection, select that side and delete. Now I will bring symmetry generator and put the cube under that. Perfect. Now it is time to move these points or edges to mesh the car shape. Let's start from the right view. I will switch to points mode, rectangle selection, because rectangle selection selects the points that you cannot see, right? Like in this example, right now, I see one point, but in reality, we have other one over here. So it's gonna select them both. And I'm gonna move these to get the car shape. I'm gonna move it slightly over here. And this should be enough for the top points. For the bottom ones, maybe we can move them like that. Okay, now we need to do the same steps in the top view. Again, select the points and move them based on the car shape. Okay, we got the basic shape, but of course we need more. When we look at the shape, we have a sharp angle in the center. So let's right click, select loop cut, and I'm gonna hit this one, switch back to rectangle selection. This time I want to move these center edges. Okay, now it is time to select only these edges. Hold down Shift, select them, and I'm gonna move them to the left on the x-axis, like so. Then I will switch to scale mode and scale these selected edges on the X to get that car shape we see in the image plane. Something like that should be enough, maybe a little more. You can always go back and move the points since we have such a low poly. But right now, everything is looking nice for a low poly mesh. We are gonna use subdivision surface. So click here at the subdivision surface and put the symmetry under the subdivision surface. Right now, it is not looking that great because we will need supporting edges to make the edges, some edges sharper. Select the cube, right click, loop cut. First and the obvious one is the bottom part. It should be perfectly flat. So I'm gonna add this loop cut over here. Then center part, I'm talking about these edges. These needs to be sharper. So loop cuts, press Q. By the way, you can enable subdivision surface on and off by pressing Q. And I'm gonna add that loop cut over here. Then let's see. If I hide this one, you can see that this part should be also sharper. So I will add one loop cut over here. I will change my display to normal so we can check the shape. It looks like everything is looking nice. Let's check the topology. Okay, everything is clear. Now it is time to make the final adjustments. I will go back to the points mode, make sure that the subdivision surface is on, because if you turn this off, you can see that the shape gets shrinked a little when I enable subdivision surface, like this part. So I will make the adjustments while the subdivision surface is on, select the points and move them based on the image plane. Okay, top view is looking nice. Maybe we can move this like that. Now it is time to check the right view. I will do the same things, select the points and move them until we get a match with the image plane. This should be enough. I think it's time to make this seat part. It's gonna be really easy. I will select these polygons, 3 polygons, right click and select inset. I believe I will need something like that. We are gonna have a problem though. When I make an inset, it's gonna create these center polygons, which we don't like. So there is an automatic way to clean this. Undo, select the symmetry, enable clamp points on axis and delete polygons on axis. Select the cube one more time, inset. This time you're gonna see that we will not get these centered polygons. Now let's check the top view. I believe you will need something like that. Actually, before doing that, as you can see, these don't match perfectly. So before making the inset, I should go back to points mode and move these points based on the image plane like this. And this should be over here. And this should be over here. Now I will go back to the polygon mode. Yes, this time this is looking much better. Right click, inset, and I'm gonna stop right here. Now I can press Ctrl and move the y-axis like so. Now let's press Q to see what we got. All right, not bad. I believe if I add supporting edges, we are gonna be okay. Right click, loop cut, one over here and one over here. I will change my display to normal. And as you can see, everything is looking clean and perfect. I will go back to the right view, switch to points mode, and make some more adjustments, like moving these. We got the basic shape of the car. Now we can try to make the holes for the wheels. Let's start from the front wheels. We are gonna need a hole for the wheels, front wheels. But first thing, we should change the position of these points because it looks like the hole starts from here. I'm gonna move this over here, which means that I need to higher these points up, press Q, and I'm gonna move this up. Maybe these as well. Okay, now I can select these two polygons, press Ctrl, and extrude them. After that point, I should make them perfectly flat and position them 0 on the x-axis. To do that, go to the coordinates, set it to world, and we are working on x, so I should set my x position to 0. This is not enough though, because these are not perfect straight right now. So I should go to the size of the x and set it to 0 as well and hit enter. Now, these are not important. I will just delete them. Now we have our hole, but let's see what we are gonna have when I enable subdivision surface. Press Q. Of course, we are gonna need supporting edges. Select the cube, loop cuts. First one over here and this one over here. Same here. And it is looking nice. Also, since we are working in such a low poly, it is good to set the subdivision editor to 3 to get more polygons. Perfect. Let me add one more loop cut here. Okay, it's looking nice and smooth. We have another one. It is supposed to be over here. We don't have much space though, which means that I should move these points over here. Something like that. Maybe these to the right. Now I will select these 3 polygons, and as I did before, press Ctrl, extrude, set the position and size of these polygons to 0, then simply delete. Let's press Q, and here we go. The polygons on the back, I believe we will need an inset. Right click, inset, and make something like that. Press Q. All right. Now let's give some depth. I will press Ctrl and extrude these like that. Press Q. I believe we will need a loop cut over here. Yes, much nicer. You may see some imperfection on this surface. This is because I am talking about these horizontal lines. This is because these selected polygons are not perfectly flat, and we have some density over here, which creates that, what to say, this shading problem. It is easy to fix. By the way, let me turn off that work plane. Select these. I'm gonna right click on the axis, because if I want to scale this right now, they are gonna be scaled based on the world coordinates, like so. But I want to change it to normal. so they're gonna keep their shape. Then scale, then hold down shift, scale them to 0. So if I press Q, maybe we can make supporting edges around here with an inset. Right click, inset, make something like that. Now it is looking perfect. One more time, check the car. I believe, yes, these are, should be like that. A slight angle. Okay, looking nice. Here, another thing, I want to select these, move them slightly, right click and add a loop cut. Right here. Okay, I think we are coming to an end for the base shape of the car. I believe, yes, we need to make an extrude on this part. Right click, I will select slide, press Ctrl, hold down Ctrl, and move these edges. This is gonna give us these polygons, which we can extrude. Switch to polygon mode, press E, hold down Shift, select the polygons. Then I will press Ctrl. By the way, I need to set my axis back to world one more time. Select world. Now the extrude will be perfect straight. Hold down Ctrl, move these polygons slightly because I'm gonna do it one more time. The reason that I make the first extrude to get these edges, these are gonna act like supporting edges. Now press Q, and here we go. These are looking great. Another thing we should make is to extrude that polygon, and I will select that edge, move it down. Maybe we can move that as well. So press Q, and looking great. Now let's work on these side parts. Actually, before doing that, I believe we will need another loop cut over here. Yes, this is looking much better. Now let's select these edges. Let me see. Yes, I'm gonna select these. I'm gonna left these two edges and move them like so. Now I will switch to polygon mode, select these polygons and right click, inset. I'm gonna stop right here because the edges are gonna intersect. I'm gonna switch back to edge mode, press E, select that edge, right click, select slide and lower these, make space between them. Now go back to polygon mode. These should be already selected. Press E, move tool, hold down Ctrl and move these polygons like that. Now we can scale this and put them further away, and maybe we can even delete them. They're not going to be much visible. Now let's see what we got. Press Q, and this is looking nice. We may need a loop cut inside. Loop cuts, press Q, and I'm gonna hit over here. And this is looking clean and smooth. I believe we are done with the main body. Now we can first start work on other details. Now let's try to model mechanisms for the wheels. Add a cube and move it over here. Scale it until we get a similar shape. Doesn't have to be perfect. For example, like that. And let's give more thickness. Now, as I did in the first cube, I will add one segment to do X. Let me enable lines so you can see, so that I can make this cube editable. Edge mode, double click on the center edges, make a fill selection, fill selection, delete these. And we have already a symmetry. I'm gonna put it under that. All I need to do though, make single group for these objects, add a null, put it under the symmetry, and put these cubes under that null. Now it should work, as you can see. Let's go back to that piece and let me rename that to body. And this one, first thing, I'm gonna add the loop cuts right here. Then while we are in points mode, I will hit 0 in my keyboard and select these points and move them like that. I'm gonna select them all, give some more thickness, like scaling these like that. Then I have another one right in the middle. So in model mode, I will be in move tool, hold down control and move the object like so. Now points mode, rectangle selection, move this like that, then like this, move these like that. This time though, let's make something different. I'm gonna scale all the points like this. Then I will switch to model mode, hold down control, move these down to make, let's try to make something different. I will switch to polygon mode, select this polygon, move it up. Another one, we have this one. Again, hold down control while you are in model mode, move the object, this will not duplicate it. Now I will switch to points mode to manipulate the points, rectangle selection, select these, move them like that. Then I'm gonna move this over here, move that point over here. It looks like this should be somewhere here, and that point should be, this point should be here. And let's see, at that point, I believe I should select all the polygons, switch to polygon mode, select them all, or you can do that in model mode as well. Move these like that. It looks like I need to select these. Actually, not these. If I set them over here, they're not gonna match with the image plane, which means that that edge should be over here. Then I will switch to polygon mode, select that polygon on the end, move it down like so. I will move it up. Then we have a last piece, select that polygon, hold down control, extrude. Okay, we got them all. Now all we need to do is supporting edges. Otherwise, if I enable subdivision surface, you are gonna see that these are gonna be really smooth. Right click, loop cuts. Again, I'm gonna add loop cuts where I want my object to be sharper. For example, here, here, and here. Then these parts. Now this is looking nice. Now the other pieces. This one, I'm gonna enable subdivision surface so you can see the effect. I will add over here, 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 and here. Maybe here. Then this one, same edges again. I believe this is the last one. Here. And let's see, maybe here. Okay, I believe this part is done. I will copy a piece from this part to here. Let's see, we need something big. So I'm thinking about this one. I will be in model mode. Hold down Control and move these over here. Then I will switch to points mode and make some adjustments. I will move these like that. Actually, these points, these edges are not important because they're not going to be visible, which means that I can delete them. But of course, we are not going to delete them with the keyboard delete. I will right click and dissolve them. Same here, right click, dissolve them. Just dissolve the unimportant edges. Dissolve. I can't move that point over here. These ones over here. Okay, now I will just select these polygons. Or actually, if you select these with points mode, it's going to be much easier. Rectangle selection. And I'm going to move these down to get a match with the wheel. If I press Q, okay, not bad. Maybe we can add one supporting edge over here so that I can move these like that. Okay, great. Now it's time to model the wheels. Modeling the wheels is going to be really easy. First, let me hide my subdivision surface group to get a clean view. As you can guess, I will start the cylinder, put it over here, change the orientation to X and scale it like that. Now I should check the top view, move it over here, scale one more time. Let me see the edges and polygons. It looks like 16 is great. Also, we have 4 height segments, which is very parallel to the shape. I mean, I will need to add these edges later if I don't have them. So I'm gonna have these 4 and make the cylinder editable. Press C or you can click here. Now I will switch to polygon mode and select these polygons. You can do that easily. It's live selection. Hold down Shift, select these as well. Now I need to scale them. Press T or you can click here. Scale them like that. Now I should check the top view and scale them on the X. Rectangle selection. Hold down Control, deselect these. And I'm just gonna move these. Perfect. I will go back to live selection, select these polygons only, right click, inset. I will do it one more time, but this time it's going to be really small. Then another inset. After that, another one. This time though, I'm going to move them on the x-axis, like so. Another inset, another one, and move them like that. Another one, and the last one. This time I will push these just like that. Now I will go to selection. I want to select loop selection because I want to select these polygons. It's going to be really time consuming to selecting these with move tool. So we have loop selection, select these, switch to move tool. As I did in my body object, I will hold down Control, press Control, extrude them slightly, then extrude them one more time. This is gonna give me these edges, which will be my supporting edges for these little details. Now let's put this cylinder under my symmetry group. Of course, they are not going to be visible because we hide the subdivision surface group, unhide it, and I'm going to change my display to normal. Select the wheel. Actually, let me rename that to wheel. Right click, look at. We are going to need supporting edges. First one over here, then here. Let's see, over here, 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 and here. Okay, looking nice. Now these parts, let's see. Okay, should be sharper. So I'm gonna add these two look cuts. Same for the back side. And we need to kind of hide these mechanisms under or inside the wheel. So I will add that look cut. I will press Q, turn off subdivision surface, polygon mode, press E or light selection tool, select these polygons. And hold down Control, extrude them. Actually, I'm gonna do this 2 times as I did before. And we can even delete these, they are not gonna be visible. Now let's press Q. So these mechanisms are kind of hidden inside this hole. Select these points of that object and scale them on the Y and move them like that. So they're not gonna touch anything. Maybe we can select them all. Switch to points mode, select all these points and push them more to the inside. Okay, now I see one problem, not a problem, but let's make these parts not that white. I will select these polygons with the loop selection, hold down Shift, select these as well, and basically scale them. I'm gonna do that while the subdivision surface is on, so we can see the final result. Okay, like so. And of course, since we are using symmetry, we are gonna have the same wheel on the other side. Now we have the same wheel. Again, model mode, hold down Control, move it over here. It looks like this one is slightly bigger, so I'm gonna center it right here, then scale it and move it over here. And looking perfect. Now let's work on the front wings. We can get this from our body. I will press Q, turn off subdivision surface. Actually, before making anything, I'm gonna, let me check them from the right view. Yes, these are not perfect and flat. I'm gonna move these down like so. And let's not forget that point. Select them, move them down. Now I'm gonna unselect that one. Let's check. Yes, exactly. This is what we are gonna need. Right click on that and use split tool. This is gonna create a new object. I'm gonna rename that to wing, and let's switch to edge mode. Select that edge. I'm gonna press Control, extrude one time. Then I'm gonna, let's see, move these up slightly. Another extrude. Actually, I'm gonna keep the height one more time. And this time I'm gonna higher these up. Now all I need to do is switch to points mode, select the points, and move the points based on the image plane. Okay, now I'm gonna need some thickness, of course. Select all the polygons, right click, extrude, enable create caps and extrude them like that. Press Q. We will need supporting edges. Loop cuts. First one here and here. Then here. Let's make this sharper. This part and this part as well. Okay, looking nice. Now I will switch to model mode. Press E, hold down Control, and move down. Then top view. I'm gonna move them on the Z. Okay, looking nice. Now let's work on the spoiler. Same thing again, select the body, select the polygon, and right click, select split, spoiler. Then in the right view, I'm gonna move this over here, switch to points mode, select these points, move them over here. Now it's time to check the top view. It looks like we need to move these over here, then this point to be here. Then I need to select that edge, hold down Control, move it over here, then move it down. Now we got the exact shape. I will need thickness, of course. Polygon mode, select them all, Control A, right click, extrude, and make something like that. Perfect. We have another thing though, which connects the spoiler to the car. So I'm gonna select loop cuts, add these two loop cuts, then I'm gonna add this so that I can only select polygon. Now press Ctrl. It looks like this is too big, so double click on that edge loop, select slide, and slide them over here. Then same thing on these edges as well. Now I will press Ctrl, extrude it here, and we can move them to the left. Then press Ctrl one more time, move them like so. Again, move them over here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna move these over here and move them over here. So these points will be parallel with the body's edges. I'm gonna select them. Let's move them over here. Yes, just like so. And I'm gonna move them over here. Then continue to extrude. It looks like they are gonna be connected. I mean, we need to extrude on the X like so, but we need slight angle. I'm gonna select that edge, slide, move these, slide them like that, so that I'm gonna get what I want, this slight angle. So when I extrude, I'm gonna able to get the thickness. I will switch to points mode, move this down. This should be right in the center, which means that I need to scale the polygon to 0. It's not good enough though. I also need to scale the polygon to 0. Now we can delete that polygon. So now it's time to enable subdivision surface. Press Q. Of course, supporting edges, loop cuts. Let's start from here. I'm gonna add this one and this one, this one. We can keep here as it is to get that smooth surface, but we are gonna need these ones. Then here, here maybe. Then over here, here, and these ones. It looks like I'm gonna need another one here. Okay, looking great. This part is intersecting. I'm gonna select these points, move them like so. By the way, this part is looking, this object is looking too weak to hold that wheel. So let's select all the points, Control A. I'm gonna scale them like that. Okay, this is looking much believable. See, it is gonna be really easy. Just select the body, turn off SubD surface, press Q. We will need just these 3 polygons as I did before. Right click, split. I'm gonna rename that to seat and select these points only. Let's see, they're supposed to be over here, but they should be flat. So press T, scale, then hold down Shift, scale these to 0%. These supposed to be here, and this edge should be over here. Now I need thickness. Select all the polygons, right click, extrude. Let's see, we're gonna need something like that. Press Q. All right, looking great. Supporting edges, we can add them like so, or we can make an inset to the selected polygons, just like that. For the side, I'm gonna add this loop cut. Okay, maybe another one. Loop cut over here. Now it's looking perfect. For the last part, let's try to model the steering wheel. For this one, unfortunately, we cannot get it from our existing objects, so I'm gonna create a disk, move it over here, change the orientation to Z, and I want to see the edges, enable lines. 16 will be enough for this one. I will make it editable. Then I'm gonna select these points and switch to scale tool, scale them, hold down Shift, scale them to 0, then move them down. We have gonna the same shape on the bottom part, so why don't we just select and delete them. Now I want to switch to model mode to see my center axis, and it is looking right in place, which means I can hold Alt and select symmetry, change the mirror plane. All right, I'm gonna scale the symmetry, position it over here, and scale my symmetry to something like that. Actually, let's check the image plane. Okay, this one should be here. Then select the mesh, select all these polygons and make an inset. Something like that should be enough. Then delete these. Actually, I will select my symmetry one more time. I feel like I will need more scale on the Y. Now select all the polygons, right click, I will select extrude, and I'm gonna extrude them just like that. Then I'm gonna add one loop cut over here. After that, I'm gonna select these polygons. Actually, I forgot to add one to that side. Select them, move them down. I will add another one loop cut over here and over here, so that I can rise that edge up. Okay, now I want to see what I have in the subdivision surface. So I'm gonna move my symmetry group for the steering wheel under the null. Sorry, if I do that, it's gonna symmetry my existing symmetry for the steering wheel. So I'm gonna undo that, and I will put that symmetry under another group. Press Alt and G and put that symmetry under that null. So these symmetries will not affect each other. These are going to be separate. Now if I enable subdivision surface, this is what I have right now, but there is something wrong. In the center of that object, I will turn off that symmetry, and as I suspected, we have polygons in the middle. We should delete this, or we should have enabled these options as we did in the first one. Enable that, enable subdivision surface, and loop cuts, one here. Then the outer side is looking nice. Maybe we can add this. Now I'm gonna select one of these, right click, inset, press Ctrl. I can delete selected ones, they're not gonna be visible. I'm gonna add one loop cut over here. Okay, looking nice. Maybe we can add one to here. If you find the thickness, you can make a loop selection, hold down shift, select these as well. This time I will use normal move. It basically scales the polygons. Alright guys, that was it for the modeling. As you can see, with such a simple tools and such a simple geometry, we can get this kind of shapes, objects easily with the help of subdivision surface. If I turn that off and enable wireframes, this is actually what we have. As you can see, this is really simple, plain, but when I enable subdivision surface, you get this car. It's looking super cool, and I hope that you learned something new. I will see you in the next tutorials. Bye.